Welcome to Dover's Crater Stadium, Dimension Cable TV2's presentation of the 1987 edition of the 83rd renewal of the New Philadelphia vs. Dover Football Classic. Tim Torelli along with Tim Stavanis, Don Spinell, Dan Hurst, Joe Heck, Rich Wells, and Brian Young as we're getting set to watch competition from Crater Stadium. A beautiful night for football, kind of crisp on the outside for the spectators, but good football playing weather. The Dover Tornadoes coming into the contest 8-1 on the season. Possible playoff berth pending upon the outcome of this contest. New Philadelphia Quakers, on the other hand, 5-4. And the key feature going into tonight's contest is the health aspect for both teams. They are both in peak condition, and the emotions are riding high on this one. Right now, let's swing it over to Tim Stavanis for some pregame thoughts as we take a look at what we might expect here tonight. Tim?
A lot of excitement as always, Tim, as the two teams bring in records of 5-4 New Philadelphia and 8-1 for Dover. The excitement builds each year. And before we take a look at this year's teams and their records and a little bit more in detail, let's flash back to October 31st of last season.
A Dover, New Philadelphia flashback. The year 1986 at Quaker Stadium saw the 82nd meeting between the Dover Tornadoes and the New Philadelphia Quakers. The Tornadoes came into the game with a 3-6 record, while the Quakers posted a 4-5 record with only one game remaining on the season. At the game's start, the Quakers jumped out to an early lead with 4:13 remaining in the first quarter from a 1-yard plunge by Ed Feely, taking a 7-0 lead. New Philly would add 6 more points before Dover would get on the board. Then, with the score 13-0, Dover cuts the New Philly lead to 6 when Jeff Martin returns a punt 49 yards for the Tornadoes' first and only score of the game. The Quakers continue to move the ball. They drive the ball into the end zone for one more score before intermission. At halftime, the score stands 19-6 in favor of New Philly. After 2 excellent halftime performances by both bands, the teams re-enter the playing field. New Philly comes onto the field with the same momentum they left the field, ending the second quarter. The Quakers will score 2 more times before the game's end. New Philly's last score came when Jan Walter intercepted an Edwards pass, and then Walter ran 76 yards down the sideline for the final score of the game. The Quakers go on to win the 82nd meeting over the Dover Tornadoes with a 32-7 score.
I'd like to thank Joe Heck for putting together a nice summary of last year's contest, and we expect a real good one here tonight as we're waiting for both teams to come out on the field and be introduced, and the excitement is building. We got a packed house. We're expecting close to 7,500 people. We're going to come back and tell you more about tonight's contest. We'll do that right after you watch. We're back at Crater Stadium. Tim Torelli along with Tim Stavanis, and throughout the course of the evening tonight, we're going to kind of give you some character-generated statistical information and taking a look back now at the classic summary. Of course, the 83rd here at hand, 82 games previous. And right now, let's kind of wrap up how things stacked up over the past couple of years, Tim.
New Philadelphia, as you see, 41 wins in the 82 games, 32 for Dover, 9 ties before they went to sudden death in the last couple of seasons, of course. In the last 10 years, the Quakers have won 6, the Tornadoes 4, as you see the Tornadoes coming on the field. Other information as far as this year's schedule quickly. As the Quakers come in at 5-4, neither team played in a league. Dover 8-1. And as you look at common opponents, New Philadelphia beat Worcester 14-7. Dover beat Worcester 41-6. Those on opposite fields. Dover played at Worcester, and the Quakers hosted the Generals. New Philadelphia beat Claymont 20-8 down at Mustang Stadium. Dover beat Claymont 36-14 in the second game of the season here at Crater. New Philadelphia lost to Canton South 17-6, a bit understaffed, and they had some injuries. That was at home, and Dover beat Canton South 38-6 away. As we have time, we'll look at some of the other games, but let's take a pause from Crater Stadium and come back with more of this 1987 Dover-New Philadelphia game.